peanut butter and jelly, comic book characters, and bargaining again. All this and more on today's Brilliant Observations. Do, 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 do.
So I'm so happy my friends in Scotland posted something on social media. Her daughter's name is Sissy. And she said, Sissy and her friends made a cake for Pride Month. So they made a gay cake.
A cake?
And made like a cake, all rainbow color cake. And I was just laughing.
What a pain in the ass that is to do.
Like to eat a cake. Yes, because you have to make the one frosting, but then all the fucking Benetton frostings.
You have to make all of the cakes, don't you? Don't you have to, like, is it a layer cake that starts
Love your gender fluids, but that's a lot. I mean, that's a lot of rainbow permutations. We embrace with open arms the confectionery of your lives, even though it comes with a little extra work, because everybody loves a rainbow cake. That's actually better to eat, though. It's worth it.
It is worth it. I like a good rainbow cookie, so a rainbow cake, I'm all in.
Let's go, Pride. Let's hit it. I love it.
Good afternoon, evening, or morning, dear listener, from wherever, whenever you are listening. I have to tell you, my computer, I'm not taking the blame, fucked the fuck up. So we missed 14 minutes of Amy doing an impression of Sean Connery that was so spot on, I thought I saw him in the room.
She's crazy. And as you'll also have missed, she thought she saw him in the room because her eyeballs, they don't work no more.
Yeah.
We spent a lot of time talking about how your retinal jizz has partially leaked, and now you are at risk of some super, super weird eye oddities.
Retinal detachments, blindness, all the good stuff that comes along with going to the doctor to say, remember what happened last year with eye number 1? It happened again with eye number 2, and she tried to gaslight me by saying, oh, I just checked your chart, and it says this happened already before you got here. Well, guess what? Let's take another look at that eyeball.
Why don't you check that chart again, Gina? Because I think I know a little better about what's coming out of my face than your fucking pieces of paper from the Xerox.
And she did
really
check
upsetting.
It. Still wrong. But I wanted to ask dear listener and Amy, which I also did in our 15 minutes of recording without you. I apologize. Good, we're moving. What are you doing to bargain? Because I felt, I saw the tumbleweed roll through my vision again. I saw lightning strikes indoors in a dark room. It was very upsetting. And the thought of losing your vision, like I'm well prepared to go deaf. I am not prepared to go blind. That is not something. All right, let's bargain.
It's a super weird flex. Let's just start there. And we're going to put a full pin in that shit because there was a hearty discussion that's been cut out due to technological
incompetence.
Wunderbar. So I just want to go out on the record here and say you're having something going on with the fluid in your eye. It is not a retinal detachment.
Not yet.
It is something that is potentially a precursor for a loss of vision. It is not guaranteed.
Right.
It unfortunately is also not predictable or predictive. It simply means we have to wait and see because it's more likely now that you've had this one event that another might follow. But there's also my favorite part. Nothing you can fucking do.
Correct.
So I guess don't trip.
Correct.
I mean, it's like, this is the fucking stupidest I want to kill you lady. That's not, I feel like your ophthalmologist is a woman. Is that correct?
It is. She is. It is.
Okay. Are there any men? Yes, there was, because mine was Subra Sassermanian is a man, but I left him and I went to a woman instead. Maybe they're just better at eyes. The eyes are the window to the soul and to the degreed status.
I have to tell you,
going with this.
I just made an appointment to get my colonoscopy for when I turn 50.
Dude.
And we asked for a woman. And when I say we, it's because I placed the phone call and Stuart placed the phone call and I did the appointment making. But
it'll be my colon, but I'd like you to speak with my colon specialist.
I was wondering as I feel like I'm going blind in my left eye and I'm like, okay, deity that I don't subscribe to, what do I have to do to keep my vision so I could see my children's children and I can keep, like, what do you need me to do? Amy suggested that I ride Peloton from morning to night. That's not the answer. The answer, which, by the way, since he didn't get one on his 1,000th ride, I'm going to do a shout out to Joel, who I rode with this morning for 45 minutes, which I did not appreciate. But
how does a man ride for 45 minutes
with his nutsack on a seat?
That's why that guy lost his balls, right? Also
had
because
his
he's
kid.
a
He's
terrible,
done.
terrible cheater and had horrible chemicals running through his body that we paid for through sponsorships.
Is this
from the
Lance
United
you're
States
talking
Postal
about?
Service. Yeah, fuck him. Fuck him hard.
He's living
Not
strong.
you, Joel.
He's living
Yeah.
strong.
But still, I am concerned about your testes.
You hear that, Joel?
I'm
Fugazi
just saying.
is
I'm
concerned
not the only
about
one.
your testes. So I did
Hey.
do that ride this morning and was put out. But I love him. I love his wife, and I tolerate all of the 45-minute rides. The music was fantastic, so I have to say that was great. It was a sold-out show theme where she just plays live music from concerts she's been to that she loves, and we share musical tastes, so it was fantastic.
All right.
Anyway.
Okay. I'm getting it. I'm getting a picture. I'm getting a scene. I see it.
Do
I see it.
bargain with, okay, I won't eat sushi anymore. I won't do this anymore. What do I do? Do you still bargain is what I'm asking, really.
Well, that's what's so interesting because you're doing the thing that we all do. And I am consciously trying to do the opposite, even though my natural inclination is to do the very thing you're doing, which is to presume that we have to get fucked to get something that we want or need or desire. Even in our fantasy state of bargaining, even in our I am summoning all of the energy of the universe.
You're right.
Real and imagined. And I still think I can't get what I want unless there's a
I bend over and take it up the ass.
Unless there is a proportionate amount of pain, discomfort. I have to somehow have skin in this game. We can't even envision a reality where magically all my eye jizz just pops back into the pockets where it's supposed to stay, and I can see better than the rest of y'all. Fuck you! Like, how come we can't wake up tomorrow morning, and that's the case, and Wendy at the eye doctor looks in her little magic folder and says, what has happened here? I've never seen such a miraculous recovery.
Did you stop eating sushi or ride Peloton for 48
hours
hours straight?
Say, you know what I stopped doing? I stopped telling everybody that I had to do something negative to get what I want. I said, I say who? I say now, blammo. My eyeballs work.
Yeah, so
it's so bizarre.
What
and
you
I
said
do it.
You said you're flipping it on its ass to do the opposite. What does that look like for someone like me who right now can only see out of her right eye?
What do you really mean by I can only see out of my right eye?
I can't focus with this eye right now because it's just, that's where the juice is right now, right between my retina and my pupil. It's right in the middle and I can't see. When it rolls by, I'll see you again, but that eye is not my fan right now.
So it's a temporary, ongoing, unpredictable state.
Yes, and yes to all of that.
Okay, my point is it's not happening for the next 72 hours because of something they did.
No.
It's not stuck this way because that's what we're talking about.
Correct.
It's every once in a while you get a giant eye snot that covers up your seeing peepers.
Yes. The snot is a rollin'. Yes, that's exactly what's happening.
Covers up your seeing peepers. See, I just wanted to break it down in technical terms for our medical listeners so that they can keep up. I'm saying to you.
How do you flip it to not give something up?
It's an expansive, abundant thought. You are worthy of sight. You are a God. I mean, there are people who say you are God. There are people who say that that's what all the gurus and the meditators and everybody else, what they're trying to get in this godlike state, the ultimate thing that they realize is that you are not just one with God, but you are God. So it's all this thing culminating in we are all the same energy. We are all the same stuff. We are all the same power and light and dark. It's all absolutely the same.
We are stardust. We are a golden.
We are Crosby, Stills, Nash,
million-year-old carbon. Yeah.
With potato chips and milkshakes.
Vibrating at the same frequency.
That's a bingo.
Okay.
So if that is the case,
yeah.
So if we just pretend for a moment, if we don't believe it, let's just pretend for a moment.
Go ahead.
You are in charge, and everything that you want, you get, and everything that you decide occurs. So are you going to decide to make things difficult for you? Are you going to decide
Is
to
this
make
the
things
secret?
small for you?
Am I living out the secret right now? I'm willing
I
it
think
to
it's
happen.
part of it.
Yeah.
No, I think it's part of it, and part of that as well. I don't really know a whole lot about that, but it's sort of akin to, this all stems from ancient human experience and history that's been documented in lots of places and lots of forms. And contemporary folks point back to this weird American writer called Wallace Wattles, who is some ridiculous economist type. And it basically tries to break the thing down in a very Western philosophy so that you can get your head around it. But it really just comes down to this notion of, if you can think a thought, that means that you have created that reality. So if you let that simmer around and percolate in your head for a minute, it really means that the simple act of thinking it means that it exists somewhere already created. So if you can think that the fluid in your eye is in the right place and that you can see and that it never crosses over and causes cloudy vision again, even the fact that you can think that thought means somewhere, somehow, that's actually true. Because how else could you think it? Your reality is a construct of our own making, of our own minds. I mean, it gets kind of twisty 3D chess puzzle here, but the reality is, bringing it all the way back to, at the simplest terms, you don't have to make life hard for yourself to hope and dream and call into being an easy life
things
for yourself.
Okay.
Yes. So leave out the bad stuff. And when you hear yourself adding them in, just drop them. I do this with weight. I've done it with weight my whole life. I come up with the scenarios of, okay, well, if I, could never eat this for the rest of my life, or could only eat that for the rest of my life, or if I laid in the bed and couldn't move for 96 hours, no bathroom, no nothing, couldn't move, and everybody had, I come up with the weirdest fucking scenarios.
Yeah.
And why? If I did that, then my body would be the perfect size and shape that I dictate. Or if I could lose X number of pounds, but I didn't get to say where it came off, then I might lose, the curves or something, and I might have a really weird shape and butt. It's just so stupid. The reality is, if you want the thing, dream of the thing. Your dreams are limitless.
But
Doesn't
be
mean they're going to happen.
positive about the dreamy thing.
We don't need to introduce lack into our dreams, for fuck's sake. I wonder if that's an inherently American construct.
I'm sure
I wonder
it is.
if that feels like part of your cultural tradition as a Jew is rooted in this idea of, well, gotta take something up the ass. That's how it goes.
We always have. Why would today be any different? We always have.
Why would today be any different?
That
today's going to be different because you say it
genetic
is.
makeup of an entire people, or several peoples actually, that have been through persecution that just genetically changed them.
And lots of cultures and lots of traditions and lots of races have generational trauma that science is catching up and seeing it's passed down, that stress and trauma on a cellular level.
Yeah.
So blah, blah, blah. The point is, if you're just fucking thinking it, cut the locks off, man. It's don't think a prison.
Why can't you just think good things?
Think the beach, or in your case, think the not beach. Think the window
deck.
near the beach with the breeze. And no sand, and a toilet. Think the toilet, Melissa.
Yeah,
think it.
It's funny. Mallory just got her yearbook, and of course, everybody puts a quote in their yearbook. Some guy wrote Trump 2024. I'm like, hey, is this Nazi in any of your classes over here?
Oh my
Is this
God.
kid? Mallory's was a quote from Harry Chapin, one of my favorite songs, My Corey's Coming, and she wrote, "Reality is only just a word," Harry Chapin, and I was like, yeah, according to what you're saying right now, you're creating those words and that reality. And if you can do that, and that's a thing, both her yearbook quote and your sort of off the beaten path theory on how to just...
Well, there's a whole connected string of dots that make the thing fucking work. And I'm going to butcher it right now, but I'll try and recall it from memory. And it starts with something like this, where thoughts become beliefs. And beliefs become actions, and actions become things. Right? So it's...
Lead to reality.
Lead to reality.
Right.
And the habits are in there somewhere, and so it's like a chicken sandwich. But it's like you don't just get to think it and poof, it's in your lap.
Right.
But the reality is it all starts from somewhere. You have to think it before you can believe it.
Before the
you
next
have to
step
believe
can happen.
it.
Right.
You really have to believe it before you can act on it. right? And when you're acting on it, you're bringing it to you. You're calling it into being. So if it works, it works.
It actualizes. That's pretty cool to think that that's even a possibility.
It does. It starts to feel like, I guess, on some level, you question, why would I want something negative? Why would I be putting these limits on myself? I got enough limits. I don't need to invent
I need to
limits.
actualize something that is horrible. Shit like that's going to happen anyway. Let's start in a world of
You've already trained yourself for the past 2 years plus to become a person you never thought you could be. And that person is, I'm going to go for 30 seconds, for 3 minutes, for 30 minutes. And then at minute 30, I'm going to go 30 seconds longer. And then I'm going to go a minute past that. I'm going to go until I can't go any further. And when I reach that point, I'm going to keep going. You never in a million years.
Never in a million years.
And that's who you are. That's who you are now, simply through the habit and the practice of doing it, because you let your brain do it. Your legs are not going to fucking power that bike.
No, they're
Your brain
not.
said, for some reason, started by, this schoolyard bet, with a bully all of a sudden.
Yep.
And now we're pedaling. And it becomes, Nike used to have this great slogan. It's, you hit the wall moves back. It's not complicated, right? That's what happens. You just keep doing it and keep doing it and keep doing it. And your brain can actually do so much more than you think your body can. You just have to kind of get out of the way. And it's a real trick to get out of your own fucking way.
Exactly what they tell you, every coach. You think one thing, but that's because you're controlling it. Your body, your brain, they have a plan. Get out of the way and let them do it. They're built, literally, you are built to do this.
Right.
Anything you are thinking and self-actual is getting in the way of that. It's easier to understand when you explain it, because the people who are saying it to me on the other front, don't know me and my stubbornness and ability to say, fuck you, I'm not doing that. Wait till you see the power of my brain when it says no. Like, I am a almost 50-year-old woman who can't swim. You want to see the power of no? I own no.
I was sitting on a toilet last week and I couldn't remember how to fucking pee. I get how the brain is in charge, right? It's like, nope, pee, no pee.
Meanwhile, to get to that toilet and to sit there, it was agony of your brain saying, I'm ready. I'm going now. Psych. Yeah. It was really holy. Yeah. I don't fully understand this stuff enough to even begin to explain it, so I apologize for the garbled everything. Oh, I loved it.
But when I
followed it and I loved it.
Good, because when I hear it, it conjures up all this lived experience. Like, well, I get that. I have an entire lifetime of evidence where I see that this works, and also in reverse, how it works for me and against, right? All these things, but somehow talking it out in the thinky thank talks is some kind of difficulty.
No, I dug it and it worked. And like I said, teaching me to swim, it's like ingrained. We must have talked about that last week, and I get a text or two from our friend Bonny, who's like, I could teach you to swim. And I'm like, I just put you in a bucket with everyone else in my life who has told me that I can teach you to swim. Okay, wow. I appreciate you. Why would you do that to yourself? I can't even fucking see anymore. I'm certainly not going to swim.
I think it's a little bit bigger. And you know what's so funny? This is everywhere. You know that show Hacks?
Yeah.
That HBO or Cinemax or whoever they are. They won a couple of Emmys. Good for them. They came back with another season. It was super great. I've binged it, watched it all the way through. The girl in that, the young character girl, can't swim. And it's a recurring theme again in season 2. And they actually get in a pool together. They go through the motions. She can't swim at the end of it, but they go through the motions of, she has a kind of a stair-step moment of, oh, fuck.
Welcome to my world of pools. Yeah, that's exactly. Yeah.
It's courage.
So thank you, Bonny and Marnie and Sarah and Amy and everybody else who spent the most
stay out of my
important
pants.
years of their lives in chlorine, bromine at the UDODP or wherever the fuck you were. It's not going to work. I love you so much for even thinking it, but you don't want to be with me when trying to teach. You want to be with me on the deck of the beach house. You want to be with me when there are substances being abused. You want to be with me in 1,000 different ways. In a fucking pool of water or ocean or that's not where you want to be with me. Trust me. I've been there with me. It's not where you want to be.
I know that now.
I know that now.
I had hubris.
Yes, you all did.
In my early years, I was trained as a lifeguard.
Yes.
I was a competitive swimmer. I'm not afraid of the water. I felt like I had enough education that I could at least help and be assistive and all the rest of this stuff. I saw within the past 6 months. I don't remember 10 minutes. They're all the same amount of time to me. That guy on the news, Craig, somebody's brother, learning to swim as an adult.
Yeah.
And he had a panic moment in the water.
Side of the pool.
It wasn't even that bad, but it was
for him. It was
so over. It wasn't. You could imagine and envision a huge freak out. This wasn't even that huge. I don't think I would have been able to control that or handle that. What happens if people, when they get panicked, they will push you down under the water.
They will pull you.
You do stupid things like we're all dying right now.
Oh, I'm going. You're coming with me.
Yeah, and it's like, but none of us gonna die. Can I help you with the visualizations again? I mean, it's like, anyway. So I had hubris. I no longer have hubris. When I saw that adult man panic, I thought to myself, yeah, this isn't about swimming. This is
correct. Yes,
this
it's about the undertowed. Absolutely.
Okay, got it.
I need two things from you.
Okay.
First of all, as a side note, I read my Starbucks order and my Trenta Black iced tea. It said on it, Noice, Noice, like that's noise. And I was like, oh wow. And my kid turned to me and said, "You're an idiot. That says no ice."
No, it doesn't. It says noise because you're fucking hot.
And I was like,
and they wanted to date you.
No, it says noise. And he's like no,
noise.
It says no ice. Yeah, dope. So
shut up. You can't read.
They
what
were
was the
right.
thing
They were
saying
right.
At the beginning
It's fine. It's fine. They were right. But what I want to know from you is twofold. One, I know that you have started a cooking show on TikTok under your username, My Wife Has a Knife, which is superb. Even through Instagram and TikTok, your pictures, your staging is erotic with food. It's amazing, and I love it. So, dear listener, absolutely check it out. Which led me to this, and I hope this becomes an episode on your new cooking show. Which, by the way, Ginger wrote and says, yes, it's a must. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200.
So
do it
kind.
Immediately.
So kind.
I want you to walk me through what I rediscovered last week as the perfect food, which is the peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Because I happen to know that you would do it in the most gourmet of ways. But first, I will tell you that I took the softest potato roll that has ever lived.
Yeah. Okay. Kinky. Got it.
And I used, as I only do, crunchy peanut butter to put on a layer of joy.
Yes.
And then I used the best jelly, which is grape jelly, as opposed to the worst jelly, which is petroleum jelly.
Ew.
Correct. So I made a sandwich of that, and then I took the palm of my hand and I squished it as flat as it would go because it's potato bread and it sinks into nothing. It could become clear, like see-through. Right. So I squished it. I couldn't find anything to eat, and I made the perfect peanut butter and jelly sandwich. It
sounds pretty damn delightful.
It was so good. And then I thought, you know who would know how to do this even better? She would probably fry it and make it warm. She would probably put it in an air fryer or right on the stove just to warm it up on her Thermidor.
Well, I do have some PB&J kink, I will say.
Let's hear it.
It is difficult to improve on the classic. And that, of course, is very near to what you describe. I do actually prefer the
Don't say white bread. Don't say white bread. Don't say white bread.
Pillowiest, whitest of white. Country white bread. Not Wonder Bread. That's just paste. Right. So I do actually prefer that for the give. The potato rolls are great, but they have almost a little bit too much structure for me.
They're starchy.
I prefer also the creamy, smooth peanut butter. Crunchy, I'm here for you, right? But then I want to do, if it's crunchy, then it becomes all about the texture. And I want to do crunchy peanut butter with mandolin thinly sliced Honeycrisp apple slices, right? And then maybe like a drizzle of some thinned out, de-seeded raspberry jam that's maybe been cut with honey, right? Do that in a nice kind of crisscross pattern.
What are you doing?
That would be really good, right? And I just made that up the top of my head.
Oh
But that's really fucking good, right? Okay, so here's the other thing you need to know just real quick. Jif has had a nationwide recall.
Yes,
so if it was
they
Jif,
have.
Just throw that away. Okay, so throw it away and get a new one. Okay, so stop licking the microphone.
Oh my God.
So the other thing that you can do is the craziest, go the complete opposite direction. The craziest,
savory?
thickest, weediest, seediest, brown, all kind of crackled, crunchy ass, cut it too thick bread.
Yeah.
Put the tiniest little bit of toasting on it so that the outside is just crisp and warm, but then when you bite it, it's still that soft,
Yeah.
in the soft wheat interior, right? Smear that with super creamy, an extra thick layer of super creamy peanut butter, and then throw on some sugared blueberries. Don't even use jam. Just douse the whole top of it like it's just, you're just drop them on top and you can watch them bouncing off and rolling all over the plate. And then you eat that open face and it's super delicious. Whew, that's good time. That's super good peanut butter. Those are two good peanut butter and jellies.
So right to ask you. I'm so smart.
It's really good. Peanut butter is really good for you guys. And it's a good combination. Even if you want to eat it with bananas, which I find personally sad, or bacon, which is super disgusting. People like it and it'll work. It'll work. You can do it. You can go there. It's okay.
Amazing.
We'll still love you.
Oh, that sounds amazing. All right. I'm all
super
right
good.
now. I feel like I'm in a food coma, but I do want to ask you. You had an opportunity to go to the theater this past week, and I just want to know, because the concert, I don't know, the comic you saw was one of recent scandal, and I want to know to what degree he addressed the slap heard around the world.
Well, I saw Mr. Chris Rock live and in living color in person up on the stage, and they did the thing where they put all your phones in bags and lock them.
Right.
So there's no phones, no recording, no nothing.
Right.
Right?
I respect that. I don't like it, but I respect it. I respect the hell out of it.
It actually, it sort of makes for a better experience anyway. It can be a little tough because the second you enter the theater is when that happens. And we have, our theater here is sort of a regional theater, so they make it an event. They have a couple of different levels, and you go there and there's a lounge, and so they're feeding you and you're having cocktails, and it would be nice to take a picture of the skyline or to take a picture of you with your friends, or I don't know,
Too late.
check your social media or
right.
make a call, or
or
so you're kind of
post that you're
stuck.
going to see Chris Rock. Like, guess what?
Yeah,
bitches?
so none of that happens, and that's maybe not my favorite. Okay, so you get there and you get in the seat, but you also have your own cup holder in the seats, so you have nice bev service, and you can sit there and drink your cocktail, and it's very nice. So it was a packed house. Everyone's crazy. He gets up there. He's wearing all white, really weird outfit. They always wear these weird outfits.
They do.
He looked like it fucking
Even when they're
orderly.
wearing all black, it's like an old worn black T-shirt and non-matching black pants. Like, it's never.
Well, I
good...
gotta say, the production value was super shitty, and he looked like an orderly. He was wearing white sneakers with some weird white ball on the front of them. I'm sure they were incredibly expensive sneakers. They look stupid to me. Pure white pants, white undershirt, white coaty kind of thing on top of it. All white. And the background was just the back of the stage. They didn't even bother. Occasionally, they would project up there. Yeah, it's like he didn't even bring anything, not even a slide. Like, it really felt like he was working out some new material. So the very first thing that he said was something along the lines of, so how have you guys been? Like, he mentioned it in some roundabout way, like, so is how you, is anything in the news or whatever, and we'd all had bets on when he was going to say and what he was going to say, but he didn't even really address it in that way. It was just a roundabout way of saying, yes, we all know that elephant's in the room. And then he worked on a lot of his stuff, and honestly, it was weirdly gun specific. He had a whole lot of gun jokes, and this was a week ago. So we were still dealing with the most recent and most visible mass shooting. They
Not the
happened
14
with such regularity.
that just were shot in Philly. Before
yeah.
that, we're talking about the 19 kids.
Or
and 2 adults,
Chattanooga
right.
since the Philly shooting this afternoon.
Jesus
There's
fucking
been,
Christ.
it's just that we can't report them fast enough. So it was very odd to me that he would still make jokes about shooting somebody in the face and like there was a lot of shooting jokes. And so he never really came full circle to getting slapped other than he talked about it in big overarching circles and then never kind of came back. I will say this. I laughed my ass off. I expected it to be funny. I've been to a Dave Chappelle show at Radio City Music Hall, and I have been to the Chris Rock show in, Little Nowheresville, North Carolina, and I'm here to tell you I laughed so much harder and so much longer at the Chris Rock show. He's really, really, really doing it. So I'm grateful that the whole thing was not based on that or even a reaction to that. But he did not trot out whatever his reaction is going to be. If he did, it was so subtle and small, that's not the whole reaction.
Yeah, I think he brought it up at the beginning because everybody's expecting it. And once he did that, that frees him up to, I guess, manifest greatness, which is what your whole theme of today is. It's called manifesting. Look it up. Yeah.
Well, yeah, he talked about parenting kids and how hard that is. And he's got one kid who's a total dick and how frustrating it is to have her because she's awful, and he talked about women throwing themselves at him and some of the texts that he gets. And he put those up on a screen so we could see the actual texts and going back and forth. Some people in the audience were overly excited and he dealt with them, kind of the first few he would go, right, but he didn't really want to engage with them. And then he sort of did the whole shutdown thing. So it didn't, everything was different. You were watching him. In addition to being there and participating at a comedy show, there was also, how's he going to deal with a heckler? How's he going to deal with this? What's the security like? It was a weird meta
because
moment.
Dave Chappelle was slapped also at a show he did, right? Wasn't that Dave Chappelle?
Yeah, I saw,
assaulted?
and his security team tackled the person and were incredibly violent with the person who came at him on stage and caused a lot of physical damage to that person. I saw Chappelle years and years ago. So, I mean, it was long before any of this, let's go up on stage and serve people.
Yeah, but what kind of precedent is that starting or has that started that I don't like this, I'm offended by what you said, fuck you, I'm coming for you. When you're offended, you walk out. You don't take a step forward, you take a step back. And that's just I thought we all knew that. Like, I thought that was an understood thing. I didn't realize.
I think it goes deeper than that. And I've just been thinking about this in broader context because of the chaotic state of the citizens in our nation right now. And it is less to me about the individual rights and the reactions and the responses as it is, when did we forget we live in a larger society with rules of conduct that we are not individually tasked with meeting out?
COVID.
We're not
Everybody
judge,
had to
jury.
stay home, and it was lawlessness in your home, and now they're taking that on the road. I can't imagine a time before COVID where people were like, I'm going to bitch slap that fucking comedian with an open hand like a goddamn pussy, and everybody's going to see it. Like, what?
Well, it's like at what point did we forget that you just don't get to express yourself through violence whenever and wherever you want and feel vindicated in doing so, regardless of whether you have a weapon in your hand? I just don't know how we got here so quickly or how we're here at all. It's just a complete chaotic breakdown. So, yeah, not my favorite. Not my favorite part. But the jokes were funny.
Or at least some of them were.
Man.
Enough of them were for you to leave there happy. So that's good. They can't all be winners.
Absolutely.
I want to know when our kids stopped trusting us or they decided they had nothing left to learn from us. Like, for example, you should leave earlier so that you're not stuck in shore traffic or stuck on the road for rush hour. I know better. I'm leaving at this time. Okay. You trusted me to...
Wait a minute. You have multiple drivers now?
Yeah.
And they're trying to tell you that they understand Eastern Seaboard traffic patterns better than you?
Better than I do. You trusted me to wipe your ass?
Good luck with that super dick. And I hope you pay for your own gas.
Well, they
and
went
don't come at
earlier.
me with your fucking electric, you douche dick. I still hope that you sit there and idle and get in trouble.
You trusted me to
Fucker.
wipe you, to teach you how to read, to write, to drive, to mend your
What
heart.
What I say last week? Karma's gonna bite your dick.
Yeah, that's right. Rocket. Why, for the love of all that is holy, do we no longer have an ounce of credibility with our kids? Like, what the fuck happened? What did you see us do as parents that make you say,
Well, I mean,
these
it's
people
really
do
curious.
not
And
know what they're talking about?
That's the thing. I feel like I should watch you and see if I can't pinpoint the moment when you crossed over that invisible threshold.
Yeah.
Because in my house there was no line. I never had any credibility.
I
with
had
them, so there was
credibility.
nothing to lose. No. I was just a larger child in the room, and then they realized, oh wait, I don't actually care.
Oh wait, now
what you
I'm
think or
taller
say.
than that child. I'm
Bingo.
free.
I stood on a fucking step in a photo yesterday
no.
so that I could be taller than them, and on the step, they were still taller than
Oh,
me.
honey.
They were on the ground. I was on the step, and the step did not give me enough leverage to be taller than those fucks.
You need the second
So,
step. I need a step ladder. I need a two-step
I need
ladder.
different kids is what I need. I need different
Well, we no
kids.
longer have credibility at all, and it's almost as bad. I heard a report that Target is commenting or marking down losses. Oh, you have a financial loss this year? Do you think that's because all
Oh.
of your clothes are from the prairie and nobody is buying
Who
them?
are the wizards who came up with that Mormon bake sale bullshit? What in the holy Salt Lake City did they think? Where were we going?
I
Where
can't
were we
feel
going?
badly. I can't feel
In
badly
these
for them.
gypsum Oklahoma weirdities. It's just the strangest fucking shit.
It's bizarre.
They went from pure sweatpants. That's all they had. Sweatsuits for days.
Outfits. Yeah,
because
yeah,
of
yeah.
COVID.
Suits.
Yeah, they're like, well, there's like nobody's coming in here, and if they do, they're not going out again. So let's just load them up with what they're regularly going to wear. Everybody's quitting their job. Here's a nice pair of sofa pants. Like, I mean, they figured us out.
I love the rebranding.
And then they realized,
sofa pants.
well, and then I guess they realized, if they are going to go someplace, it's probably for takeout at Cracker Barrel. So let's pick the dress that one might wear on date night.
It's awful.
Disgusting.
That, dear Target, I'm going to at you right here. This is why you are suffering financially, because your buyer that put up any of the women's clothes in the entire women's section, it's either a bralette for my daughter or Little House on the Anne of Green Gables for me, and that is not happening. I'm back to the
couldn't
sofa
have been
pants.
a woman. You think it was a woman who came up with that shit? It was either a delusional teen trying to predict a trend and really
fail.
Yes. Or it was just a bunch of dudes. I don't know. It's a dress. Put a ruffle on it. Nah. I mean, that's right. They'll buy anything.
Hey, you got rickrack? Put some rickrack
We've got a
on
whole
that.
bunch of this extra yardage that we've been trying to move.
You have yarn?
Santa.
Why don't you knit a leisure suit?
Okay, gang. Let's not let him play any more reindeer games.
I think a knit vest is the perfect item to sell, men and women.
God.
Yeah. No. Dear Target.
Do they still have Wi-Fi in Santa Fe, New Mexico? Let's send them some stuff. I mean, unbelievable. I don't get it.
At Target. Sorry, no. It's your own fault. So raise your stakes. It's your own fault.
Maybe they were bargaining and they said, well, if we just make it really hard for ourselves, because they were taking so much of our money through Instacart and drive-up delivery during the height of COVID, maybe they said we have to increase the level of difficulty for ourselves because we can't keep
Stealing all their
America.
money. Right. Let's
That's
take a
it.
break
That's
from
it. Corporate
profit.
greed.
Yeah.
Let's wrap it in an ugly dress and see what happens.
Well, that's
How
what
far
happened.
has America
Target.
sunk?
Yeah, that's what
we
happened.
woke up. Right.
Gross. And what's with linen? Can you tell me that? Why is linen like a higher? I don't want pants to always look wrinkled. Let's start there. I
Okay.
can't wear pants that always look like I took a dump in them and it's wrinkled and why if I sit down do I need whiskers at my crotch? Why? Why is that a leisure
I'm sorry,
fabric?
I've got to slow down. I've got to slow you down. I've got to slow your roll. I don't want pants that look like I've taken a dump in them.
Already, yeah.
We had those. I believe the man was MC Hammer was his name.
Oh.
And those were the pants
Parachute
that sagged
pants?
down toward the knee area.
Yeah.
Looked like a heavy load.
They're called harem pants, but that's not what I'm
of
talking
papoop.
about. Oh,
Yeah,
yeah, they
yeah,
do.
yeah.
They were exceptionally hammer time. Go with the flow. I was just singing
That's
that
what
today,
he
actually.
Is. Yes, yes.
Fresh new kicks and pants. Got it like that. Now you know you want to dance. Move,
I shit my
radio
pants.
seats.
Yeah.
Get a flat girl and dance to the shit pants. Yeah, no. Yes and no. Why do people want super wrinkled pants?
I don't think they do. Want
But
super
it's a
wrinkled
dressier
pants.
fabric than cotton.
Linen.
Linen,
Linen is
Bye.
sturdy.
linen.
It's sturdy. It's a higher grade. And I think that there is something to the idea that to have crisp pressed linen
Yeah.
is in and of itself.
Luxury.
Yes, because it's not really possible.
Right. It's not possible.
So the fact that you have these impractical clothes
Yeah, I do not, but yes.
are yet another signal of the staff you have employed
Oh.
or the amount of leisure and time in your day to accommodate these ridiculously insta-wrinkle clothing.
Pantaloons.
understand?
Yes. Okay.
Right. I mean, that's part of the ridiculousness. I think it's a flex. I think it started as a differentiator because linen is a higher grade of cotton. It holds up to wash and wear. And then it does stay beautiful and luxurious when it gets soft and lived in. And then it's not about it being crisp. It's about it being very pillowy and soft, right? It has this beautiful, beautiful tooth to it, it's fantastic to touch it and feel it, but it almost doesn't wrinkle anymore because it has aged so well. That's not the kind of linen that we have anymore. The kind of linen that we have is snooty up the ass crack linen where you just want to show off, and they're these big, wide palazzo style pants that nobody can fucking wear, that get trapped in your flip-flops, that graze the ground, get filled with dirt, look really stupid, and have a drawstring waist, which fuck you. I'm sorry.
Oh my God.
We're not wearing a drawstring waist. Who came up with that shit? I'm going to pull the drawstring out and choke you with it twice.
Wow. That's the pair of
Just hear
pants I have. I have them.
They suck. Okay, sorry.
Yeah, they just
sure they look
whisker
great.
at
Fuck you.
my labia. Like I do not
They
need
whisker at your labia.
Like, why
Wow.
do I need all these lines pointing directly to my parts?
I feel like that's an asset, though. No?
no.
I mean, especially on vacation.
No.
Labia whisker
The
is
people
the new...
with whom I vacate are well aware.
Labia whisper is the new prairie dress.
The people with whom I vacation, they know exactly when and where my parts
Well,
are.
what do you care? You can't see it anyway. Oh!
Nice.
Just a little blindness joke for you.
Well played. I need advice, and
I've got it.
I encourage everyone I know, if they need advice, to consult with the ever popular podcast of Brilliant Observations for the Fugazi effect. Here goes.
Sorry.
I have a favorite spot at the Shore House, and that favorite
Great.
spot is the deck. You go, there's a corner, there's a couch that hits up to a corner, so it's like the best nook in the world. There's a house next to us which blocks like the intense like cold breeze from the shore, but you could still hear the water rolling in. And it's lovely. You get a tiny breeze there. When it's cold, you have a space heater right above you. It's amazing. Great spot.
Oh my God, this is fantastic.
To get out there, you need to cross through or open and go through a glass sliding door. You with me?
Okay. Yeah, I am. I remember.
My largest, dumbest canine
Oh, fuck.
is not usually aware of the glass door. And he walks full force,
Oh, for fuck's sake.
big fucking poodle head right into, and you don't hear thump. You hear like the loudest bone on glass sound. And it's very upsetting and unnerving. And no doubt that
It's
dog
like
has
you're on the captain's bridge of the Titanic, enjoying a little cocktail, and then you hit the iceberg.
He rocks the house by walking directly into a glass door full speed ahead. What the fuck do I have to do to that glass door to make sure he sees? Do I put stickers on it or color forms at his eye level? Do I put like a University of Delaware, University of Pittsburgh, like color forms magnet? Like what do I do so that he does not forehead plant into that glass door? Again, please let me be clear.
Well, I've got some bad news for you.
Oh, no.
Don't perceive that this member of your family is actually
going to learn
mentally challenged in this way. I don't perceive that this is a lack of spatial awareness or even a surprise. Rather, I perceive that this is a conscious attempt to join you on the terrace of love.
Well, okay, but if I'm inside, or let's say I'm outside and I'm about to go in, and he's like, I'm going to race you inside, but the door is closed.
Right. That seems dumb.
He's very dumb, but he's also
dumb.
His dumbness is going to be honestly, the death of him.
Well, it's maybe not so much dumb. This is a man, though, right?
Yes.
He's very, very much about the I'm doing it energy.
He is.
You're not getting in there before me.
He is.
I don't care if anyone gets in there. I'm stopping us all with my face.
Does that
seem right?
Yeah, it does.
Okay.
I don't want him to have
It's not about the egress.
No, I don't want him to have a brain bleed. How do I stop this from happening? It's not a tiny bonk. It's a kaboom where from another floor you will hear somebody yell, "You good? Everybody okay?"
Well,
not really.
Like so many things in life, I really feel like this is a problem to be solved by hot dogs. I think you just need a tiny pocket full of directional assistance device. And when it's time to go, you are going to be the one where all the attention is on you always. And you are also going to go through that door first.
You're talking about consistency with training. I don't have consistency with my kids, my husband, or my pets.
No, I'm not talking about consistency. I'm talking about bribery. I'm talking about a pocket full of hot dogs. It's what I'm talking about. A pocket full of weed cookies. Something that is more attractive than, butt fucking to the front of the line. I don't think that's what they call it.
I don't
what
either.
do they call it?
I don't know, but you gave me some words via text this week that were the wrong words, clearly, but it was fun.
Well, I saw a shirt. There's a shirt company now, and it's called Bird Dogs. Oh, they're pants. They're lined pants.
I saw them
for men
on
and
Facebook.
boys.
Yeah.
And they're called they're on television, and they're called Bird Dogs. And I thought, what? Isn't that when you have to go boom booms and it's starting to peak out?
And I said,
and so I
no,
texted you,
right.
of course, as the authority,
Always.
right?
And I said, no, that's like a turtle head coming out.
I had not heard that
right.
before.
And then you said, oh, prairie dogging. And I'm like, well,
right.
I definitely think of a prairie dog.
I had cornholing in the middle there because I thought it was
that's
cornholing.
Right. That's definitely
which is a new one.
That's different.
Is there a different?
That's different.
Okay. In any event, I feel like you can control this canine's behavior.
Yeah.
By redirecting and misdirecting. Everybody wants treats. He wants.
That's true.
Excuse me.
And everybody loves hot dogs. Even vegetarians love hot dogs.
They love them the most.
They love them the most.
He wants treats and hot dogs more than he wants an aneurysm.
That's
so he's
what
going
I think
to pay
is going to happen. He crawls.
Right.
He goes into the crate at night, and I said to Stuart, I'm like, right now, I'm hoping that his brain absorbs all of the blood that came out from the. Not once, but twice today of smacking his head into a glass door. My father walked into a glass door once, and my mom put stickers all over it so that it didn't happen again. So his brain.
But it did, though, I bet.
No, my dad took once. My dog, not learning.
I don't feel like a sticker is going to do it. I think like maybe thumbtacks facing out. Things you don't want to do. So instead, right? I mean, if you want to stop it. I'm just saying there's a nicer way, and it involves hot dogs.
I am reachable for your commentary on all things from swimming and Sean Connery impressions. And but you can't beat Amy. She's the best. Come on, give me 3 pings. Come on.
Come on. Oh, it's coming out of sequence now. We were talking about it. Run Run, ping, only. Give us a ping, Vasily. Because Hunt for Red October is such a fucking good show. And I can't believe your bitch kids didn't like it.
Didn't.
What's the matter with them?
I don't know.
They don't know
Write
anything.
us. brilliantobservations@gmail.com. Check us out on Facebook at Brilliant Observations or Brillob Squad. Or go to Listen Brilliant on Instagram, which is where everybody is on Instagram. Or even Twitter. I don't know what you're going to find there, but you can check us out at Listen Brilliant. Let us know how to keep dogs from walking face first into glass doors. Is hot dogs the answer? Are you a vegetarian who doesn't appreciate us mocking you for still liking hot dogs the most? Tell us.
I give us
What do I?
one chance in 3.
There
All
it
right,
is.
now
Sean
stop
Connery. I
shutting
love
us
it.
off. Stop shutting us off. I've got something for you, little Missy.
Uh-oh. You're not going to.
I've had something for you all week. I'm not going to what?
Go ahead.
Okay, so we're not doing 30 Seconds with Amy, are we? Okay, we can. But here's what I'm going to do first.
Go ahead.
I was speaking with my children. They're all home now. They live here
That's
for the
great.
next X number of days until I already got the next bill for college, so I know he's going back. Okay, so talking about who's going where and how they're spending time and talking about what shows we're going to watch and what's new up in the lineup and who's seen what and what can we do. And we had this weird overlap of people in our conversation. And it occurred to me that most of the time, I don't know if my kids are talking about a comic book character or a
Friends?
real human person. Because the names are so fucking ridiculous.
Let me hear
and
them.
fantastic.
Let me hear them.
So we're going to play
Real or
a
not real?
comic round, real or not real, real or fake, right? Real or fake. So, and that's on you.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna give you the name.
I appreciate
and you're
this
gonna
more because there's no timer. Go ahead.
You're gonna immediately give me the real or fake.
Go ahead.
Real or fake. Real or fake.
Go.
Okay, and it's a healthy list. Adam Arnold.
Real.
I told you it's fucking hard. I told you it's fucking hard. What'd you say?
Real.
He is real.
Yeah.
Stan Stahl.
Real.
Real. Ethan Mann.
Real.
You're winning. Mac Presson.
Real.
Okay. Rosie Revel.
Comic.
Real. She's fucking real.
Is she?
She went to the prom. She came to my house. Rosie Revel.
All of the Marvel ones are same letters, same alliteration, the same.
That's right.
So that's
That's
why
right.
I was
Super.
like, this is a. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Barry Allen.
Well, he's the Flash.
Well, I didn't know if you'd know that. Billy Burton.
He is fake.
He's fucking real.
No, he's not. He's
fucking real. And every time I'm convinced that he's a crazy stoner. But he's not. He's just the name. It's like, who would name their kid? What is he like? A fucking snowboarder? How did you name your kid this?
Burton. Yeah, but that's their
Billy
last
Burton.
name. Okay.
Oliver Queen.
Oh, he's the Arrow.
How do you know this?
Well,
Okay, I didn't know
I'm
that.
a whore for these shows.
Andrew Just.
Real.
He is real. I thought I would trip you up because he's just.
Yeah, he's that.
And he goes by Drew. And I thought if we said Drew Just, it would sound like a total thing. Pierce Felt.
Oh, I know he's real.
Matilda Boyles.
Matilda. Real.
Sasha Nikiforov.
What's the last name?
Nikiforov.
She's real.
Dick Grayson.
Oh, he. Boy wonder. He is not real. He's Batman's friend.
Valerie Gore.
She is not real.
No, my son dated her.
My son dated her.
It took me a minute. I'm like,
no,
wait.
no, she's real.
Caroline Coyle.
She's real.
Tim Drake.
He's real.
No, that's another fucking Robin.
Really?
Well, that's what they tell me. And they don't lie.
Oh, well.
Lee Otis.
Otis. Is this
Lee Otis.
an
Lee
elevator
Otis.
repair person? No, that's a real person.
Lee Otis. Cassidy Cage.
Luke Cage. So she's real.
It's Luke Cage's daughter.
Oh, is it?
She's fucking fake. I thought never in a
I'm
million
like,
years
I
we'd
know
get that
Luke
one.
Cage, but I didn't know he had a daughter. Does she have his strength?
It's super exciting. It's super exciting. Oh, stay on topic. Stay
Oh,
on
sorry.
topic.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Nick Weathersby.
That is bullshit.
William Clark Green.
Can I tell you something? We couldn't name our kids anything that wouldn't be right with our last names, so we fucked with our dogs' names. These parents are not following the rules. What was that last
These aren't even the worst of them. William Clark Green.
He's real.
Yes.
Because he has 3 names.
Walker Muncie.
Real. I don't know any Muncies.
Quinlan Voss.
Oh, that could go either way. I'm going to say she's real. Is that a boy?
Star Wars.
I'm like, is that a boy? She's real. Is that a boy?
Bridger Chase.
That's not real.
He's real.
Really?
Yes, of course he's real. Do you remember I told you that story about the kid with the late hit and got his arm broke?
Yeah.
That's fucking
Oh,
Bridger.
that's right. I should have remembered that.
I don't think I named him. Corin Vanterpool.
Shut up. That's got to be real.
It's totally real. And I'm not even bringing out like the Parker, Wemsley, Feathering's, and I mean, there are just so many that are so fucking bad. Like the next one I should do is girl or boy, because you can never fucking
that
tell.
Was a tough one. Did you hear me? I'm like, yeah, that's bullshit. Wait, is that a boy? I don't.
Claiborne. Do you know how many Claibornes we have? 6. How many are boys?
3.
I don't know, because they're all Claibornes, boys and girls. Claiborne's not even a first name. How am I supposed to know?
It's not even a first name. So,
and then my kids are like, you're so racist. I'm like, what does that even mean?
What does race have to do with it? I'm mocking their fucking parents for choosing family names.
They don't know anything about anything. I'm the one who's smart. You should see my TikTok. I am such an imbecile.
Oh, I love it.
Oh, my God. I have been laughing my head off at how stupid I am. It's hilarious. Okay.
My daughter said she uses the same CapCut I use to make my videos, to make my edits. I'm like, that's great. Can you get that milky white thing that keeps going past my eye for me? And yeah, so it's great. It's good stuff. These kids' names.
Milky white thing. Now I'm blinding. I can't see from one eye.
You went Christmas,
Sorry,
and
I
went
Jewish.
into the woods.
I apologize.
I went into the woods because milky white, like. No one would give him more for this creature. Are we to dispel this curse through deceit? Yeah, I can.
Even if you're blind, I think the soothsaying is going to be a great new hobby for you, because you can spit the rhymes, baby. Is that what they say? I'm so hip.
I don't know. But it doesn't sound familiar.
Oh, okay.
I thought I would do better on the DC and Marvel names, but I got to a point where I'm like, all right, that's 14 names that are Luda, and they're all real. So something has to be fake in here.
They're so fucking bonkers.
But you threw.
We had a hard time. We had a hard time coming up with comic names that actually sounded like comic names, because the real names are so ridiculous.
All right, are you ready for 30 seconds with Amy?
I am so ready. You don't even know.
In the next 30 seconds, for those of you new to this show, A, where the fuck have you been? And B,
really, man, what?
B, I'm going to ask Amy to name as many of this topic, items from this topic, as she can in 30 seconds. Her record is, I think, between 14 and 17. Like, the number is somewhere in there. It's real high. It's a great, great number.
I feel like soup was my greatest hit.
And her cheese or soup. And her low number, I'm going to tell you, was at least 10 less than that.
I think it was like 3. I don't remember.
So it was at least 10 less than her high score.
It's pretty poor. Pretty poor.
The topic
Uh-huh.
is games.
Oh.
Go.
Poker, gin rummy, roulette, craps, tug of war, tag, Marco Polo, Trouble, Yahtzee, Monopoly, Pictionary. This game is called Checkers Chess, Parcheesi, Yahtzee, Shuffleboard, Pool. Fuck. Volleyball.
Volleyball! You got 17. You kicked ass.
Holy soup!
Holy soup and cheese!
Holy, I love that I didn't say lacrosse in my whole fucking
I'm like,
life.
why is that not the first thing you said?
That's not a game. That's a sport.
Yeah, but volleyball was also
I was out of numbers. I had to pick
a
something.
sport and not a, but it's also a game. You play games in a sport, I guess. Right?
I guess.
17. That's pretty amazing. Dear listener, if you have a topic for Amy that you would like to stress her out by screaming in her face and making her shout them at you, I'm happy to be here for you on the shouty side. Let me know. brilliantobservations@gmail.com. And also, I had another closing. I don't remember what it was because I am turning 50 and everything is fuzz. Oh, fuzz, fuzz, fuzz. Yeah, that's where I am now. I asked you about, you told me about your comic books, bargaining.
Milky, milky retina. I made it out of clay.
I came home today from the beach after taking my dogs on the beach, and they loved it. They had a great time. I left the boys down there with 2 dogs. And the girls, my daughter, my oldest canine, we came home. So we're going to spend a few days together without any boys in our house.
Or as they say at Starbucks, noise.
Noise! Thank you, dear listener, for turning us on and turning out and all the other prepositions that
It's turnt. Yeah, that's what they say because I'm super hip.
Don't get turnt. I thought turnt is negative.
I'm going to go with I know all the references, so what I say is right.
And I'm going to go with believing you because I turned to you every week for advice.
Boy, it's 2 sad peas in a broken pod.
I love you.
And on that note,
we love you. Thanks for listening. Bye.